I was supposed to go to law school and I said no. And in this video, I'm gonna explain to you why. But before we get into the story, I think it's fair that I give you guys a little context before we hop into the good stuff. So for those who are new here, my name is Chike Onachukwu. And no, that's not short for anything. My name is Chike Onachukwu. And I come from a Nigerian background. Both my parents migrated here to the US from Nigeria, and they very much hold a lot of Nigerian values. We value hard work, we value education, and growing up in that household was no different. Those were all things that were assumed that we embody. I know a lot of people can relate. If you come from an immigrant family, it's either you go to med school, you go to law school, you become an engineer, or you're a failure in life. Those are your only four options. And when I decided to take on entrepreneurship as opposed to taking on that traditional route, I was faced with a lot of backlash. People usually take that traditional path, right? They go to school, they get a degree, they use that degree to get a job that pays them, 60K, 70K a year. But I always knew that, that was very one-dimensional to me. From a young age, I always knew I was different. I always knew that there was more for me in life, and not just this simple get a job, get a degree, then work 40 years at a company, and that was your life. That just wasn't for me. I was way too expressive, way too creative, way too outside of the box as a kid for that to ever be my path. But of course, with that decision, it comes with a lot of fear. It's not an easy thing to tell your loved ones, to tell your parents specifically, like, hey, I'm not gonna do this, and I'm gonna go this instead. I went to college, I went to undergrad on a full ride scholarship. I was a really smart kid. I majored in chemistry at first, but I ended up graduating with a entrepreneurship and psychology degree. I was studying for the law school towards my last 2 years of school. And because I had a full ride scholarship in undergrad, there also was a program for their law school to have an opportunity to go to their law school on a full ride scholarship as well. So long story short, I was studying for the test, for the LSAT, it was called, and man, I had a love-hate relationship with that test. Like, I mostly hated it, but I loved it for how it challenged you mentally, especially logic games. I heard they don't do logic games anymore, but let's talk about like the decision moment and what made me say no. So I was really at the later end of studying. There was a certain score that I had to reach to secure that scholarship. I ended up taking the test multiple times and I was doing well. And at some point I'm like, wait, hold on. I'm already taking this test this third time. This is not something that I actually want to do. I'm really just doing it for my parents. I started to visualize myself as a lawyer. At the time, I wanted to be like an entertainment lawyer or like a contract lawyer. That was my avenue. And I'm like, wait, let's say like best case scenario, I go to law school, I come out. Am I gonna be happy? If this was something that had no monetary value, no exchange, would I be happy doing this? Do I see myself taking this path? And the reality was, it was no. And again, I felt so boxed in. Even when you go to law school, you still have to get a lot of experience at a law firm. Before you even think about creating your own practice or having your own law firm, you have to get experience. So that takes time, that takes years, that takes expertise, networking in that space. And I started calculating like, yo, law school is already 3 years. Let's say you need another 3 years of experience. That's already 6 years. And it's like all this to get a job and to work and to not love it. Yeah, we're out of here. We're not doing that. So right before I took my test, I actually opted out and I said, no, I'm not doing this. And I picked up a camera. That was in 2023. And right now we're 3 years later and a lot of things have changed. And the reality is like, those early struggles were really pivotal times for me. Jumping headfirst into entrepreneurship is not an easy thing. It's not something that everyone can do. And now being in entrepreneurship, having some skin in the game for 3 years, I understand why not everyone can do it. Not everyone is cut out to be an entrepreneur, and that's okay. Right now in mainstream, everyone's like, be your own boss, start a business, build a brand. But it's okay to say for some people, that's not you, and that doesn't fit your personality type or your archetype, or that's not something that you're built for, and that's okay. But I knew that I couldn't work a 9 to 5, and I couldn't work a job for 40 years and retire and say I got the best out of life. That just wasn't for me. So I struggle with a lot of things that come with not having experience in business. One of the things being undercharging. When you first start in business, let's be honest, we're a little thirsty. We're a little, you're just trying to get gigs. You're trying to prove to yourself like, yes, I can get paid for my craft. People will exchange my mind, my craft, my skills for money. So a lot of times I was doing shoots for free. I was doing shoots for $100. Projects that were worth $1,500, I would do it for a quarter of that price just to get that experience and just to get that client. I didn't have a system working for me. There was times where I was doing every single thing by myself, from the discovery calls, to emailing people back, texting people back, driving to the shoots, doing the shoots, editing the videos, then delivering to the client. Literally every single step of the process I was doing. I had no system working for me while I sleep. I had no team that I can lean on for them to do the things that they're good at while I do the things that I'm good at. There was a lot of just figuring out as you go. And that's the beauty of early entrepreneurship, because those are where a lot of your biggest lessons are learned. Maybe you have the skills under your belt, but you don't have experience under your belt. You don't have those case studies that you have that you can use to leverage to get more clients. That was kind of like my reality check in the beginning. You're just gonna struggle. You're going to go through those times where you're gonna overwork yourself. You're gonna take on gigs that you should have charged more. You're gonna do everything yourself, because you have to get skin in the game. You have to understand different parts of the business so that one day you can delegate that part of the business. You have to get skin in the game. This is when things really started to click. Number one is when I really started focusing on my brand. I like to think of it's really synonymous to your online presence. What do people see when they look up your name or your brand or your company? And what does it communicate to them? At a point, I started really trying to target luxury clients and premium clients, people that can afford videography services at a premium rate, and people that value experience and value more than just a guy pulling up with a camera. So I started focusing on brand and my messaging. How can I speak to my ideal audience? It's not really about me. It's not about content and what I like. It's about what communicates to the people that I'm trying to reach. And I started focusing on storytelling. Storytelling is here to stay. I think that's one of the biggest differentiators when it comes to content in general. Who can tell a story? Who has a compelling story? And early on in my journey, I recognized that storytelling was one of my biggest differentiators. That is what separates me from another creative, because I had an eye for storytelling. I love visual storytelling. I love being able to evoke emotion out of a video. I used to come with a mind frame of, I'm creating this video, so by the end of this video, you feel something. You feel inspired. You want to take action. And I really cemented myself in that avenue. And when I started focusing more on storytelling, everything else around me started to grow. My network grew, my clients grew. And that's when it started to click. I started making more money in my business. I started getting more aligned clients, people who weren't just price shopping and trying to get the cheapest videographer, the cheapest marketer. No, I came across people who value the work, who value storytelling, who understand that I am the premium choice and I am the go-to option. And when you have people in your inbox and people in your email that come to you with that mind frame, everything becomes easier. We want to get to a point where clients are coming to us and we don't have to do so much outreach. Now, I'm so blessed to be able to grow my team and grow my relationships. In my last update video, I talked about how I recently joined a partnership and now I run a marketing company, and we have an office out in Philadelphia, and we have a team of 18 people all over the world that are supporting our vision of branding and marketing and helping people excel in that avenue. And man, it's been amazing. Obviously, it comes with its ups and downs, but it's crazy how if I let that fear in the beginning of what are my parents gonna say, or I don't know if this is a good move, or, you know, maybe I should confine to this thing, whatever that fear was, it's crazy how if I would have confined to this, I wouldn't have been able to reap the blessings and reap the rewards of what we're doing right now. And I'm just super happy for the growth. And man, it's a lot more in store. It's crazy because like I don't even like speaking on this too much, just because I never want to come off as like boasting or trying to show off, because quite honestly, I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. I have so much to offer and so much to provide for the world that, you know, even where I'm at today, thank God, I'm so blessed for it. There's so much more in store. And listen, I didn't have a blueprint for none of this shit. Excuse my language. I didn't have a blueprint, so I built one. I built the systems. I built the strategy. All this trial and error, all the trials and tribulations I went through living in my mom's basement and just figuring it out and failing and making the most out of every client that came through the door and constantly marketing myself, constantly reinventing myself. Like, I went through those things. I documented those things. You guys can go on my Instagram, go on this YouTube channel. Like, I documented everything. And I think that documentation is what helps me be in a position to be clear on like, okay, these are the ways to do things. This is the process I need to follow to get this result. I didn't have a blueprint, so I built one. And if you're trying to figure it out too, I just want you to know that you're not behind. I know in entrepreneurship, it's very easy to get caught up in like what the next person is doing or what your peers are doing, or, you know, I feel so behind, all these things. But just remember that you're running your own race. And I was just explaining to my friend the other day, like, entrepreneurship works at different bottoms or different starting points. Because I feel like I'm starting over in a lot of ways, but not really, because you're starting at a different vantage point. You're starting at a different experience level. You're starting at a different skills acquired. It's like you start here and then you improve. And then you start here and then you improve. And then you start here and then you improve. That next time you improve, you're gonna be at a better starting point than where you were before. So always keep that in mind, like, you're not behind, you're running your own race. And the point is, don't quit. As long as you don't quit, you will win. So this was a quick little update video. I just want to give you guys an inside scoop of my life and what's going on. If you guys enjoy videos like this, make sure you leave a comment, like, subscribe. Definitely going to be posting more videos. Yeah, man, let's lock in. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.